it's time. The big ugly. I've been putting this off for, oh geez, I don't know, 3 years, probably 4, maybe 8. The frame on this thing is bent. I don't know if you can really eyeball it. You probably can't see it from the video, but anyway, passenger side is exactly 1 inch down. And whenever I walk up to this thing on the passenger side, it's bad. Like the body lines, it just makes it look terrible. So we are going to pull the bed off. We are going to figure out where it's bent. Lots of measuring. And then we're going to fix the bent spot. However that plays out, not really sure yet, whether it's anchoring it to the floor and jacking on something, or maybe just cutting the frame and, you know, maybe taking a pie cut out of it, weld it up. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But this side looks awesome. Not awesome, but normal. You walk up, and the other side is like, and then if you ever put any weight in it, it just exacerbates the whole thing. So I have a feeling it's going to be right at the C notch, because that's where the frame gets real skinny. So we'll pull the bed off, we'll put it up on blocks, get everything all squared up, leveled up, and then we'll start measuring. She's up on the lift, getting all the bolts cut loose, get everything unplugged, cut the battery loose. So you can see up in there, spacers, that is the bed mount and the frame. That needs to be together with no spacer. That was my attempt at trying to get it to not look so terrible, temporary. Anyway, we'll get this bed off here. Alrighty. Pretty uneventful. There she is. Got a Boyd's tank in there. That 12 bolts got chromoly axles. It's got a Eaton True Track in it, I believe. That's my favorite locker that Eaton makes. It's like a worm gear style. There's no like ratcheting and banging and like a Detroit. They're pretty nice. So anyway, I think what we're gonna do is a whole bunch of measuring. I'm pretty sure this rail is good. This one needs to come up like 1 inch. I'm gonna guess it's right in the notch area, but we're gonna figure that out. And then after we're done, we're gonna fully box this effing thing, because I've already done this once before, and for some reason we lost audio again here, so I'll have to voice this over as best I can. So what we ended up finding out, do this again. The frame is perfectly level within like a 1/16 of an inch, which is really good. So I don't think the problem is with the frame. We measured from the frame up to the cab. We don't have any body mount issues. Measured from trailing arms to the frame. It appears that our springs are both, you know, the proper height. We don't have a spring sagging or anything like that. And from the frame down to the shop floor, everything's just right on the money. So my next thing I'm going to go look at is start looking at the bed itself. I think the twist is actually in the bed floor, or maybe the repop bed sides or garbage. So well, we have confirmed the bed is bent. It's like twisted. I don't know how or where yet. I mean, I know which way it needs to go, but I don't know why it's like that. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna do at this point. I think I'm gonna start by just loosening all the hardware and seeing if it relaxes. Like maybe it got put together on an unlevel surface and maybe it's just like under tension or something. I don't know, it's weird. Nothing looks bent. Like I put the straight edge on everything and it all looks pretty good. It's just like, it's just got a weird twist to it. I don't know if you can see it, but this corner right here is down like an inch. So, I don't know, weird. So we'll keep digging into it and see what we find. Well, I did confirm that the bed had like a major twist in it. So, found all kinds of goofy shit. The things you do when you're young and dumb, I guess, and broke and don't have any tools. That's about the time that I built this truck. So I was missing those 3 shiny bolts, those 3 shiny new bolts over there, and that panel is just hammered. So anyway, I went ahead and loosened all the bolts. Loosened everything. Oh, by the way, this was a long bed floor cut down, and it used to be on air ride, so it had a big step notch in it. So the bed floor has been welded together like 3 times, so that could be an issue too. If I set this thing back down and it's still crooked, then I'm going to order a new bed floor. But anyway, went ahead and loosened everything. I squared it all up on the lift with my little jack screws, whatever you want to call them. I just shot my calibrated eyeball across all 4 corners of the bed and made sure they're on the same plane, because measuring down to a concrete floor that was screeded with a crooked 2x6 probably wouldn't give you a real good measurement. So anyway, it's all leveled up, squared up, whatever you want to call it. Tightened all the bolts back down. So we're going to set it down on the truck and see if it had any kind of improvement over what it was. It was about an inch down on the passenger rear corner. So a couple other things we're going to do real quick while the bed's off. Young dumb me never put a hose or anything on the vent, and the rollover valve or tank vent, whatever you want to call that, is just wide open, ingesting lots of dirt and water and whatever else. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that real quick. Said I was going to box the frame, but screw it, you know. If the frame ain't bent, then screw it. So let's get those addressed and we will set this thing back down and see where we're at. Okay, back down on the ground, everything's all buttoned up. Looks pretty. Guy shoots his eyeball across there. Pretty nice and straight. Now, bumper looks pretty straight. Before, the bed was really sagging in the rear. So yeah, we lucked out. The frame wasn't bent. I think the bed just, when it was assembled on some sawhorses out in an uneven yard in the grass, I think it got tightened up and it had a twist in it. I think that was most of the problem. I do think the bed floor is kind of wavy from being welded in 2 different occasions. So I think in a couple years when we put a new chassis under this thing, we will buy a new bed floor. So still undecided if we're gonna do air ride or just keep it a nice little, you know, street machine. I do kind of like the fact that I can just hop in it and go and don't have to mess around with air ride and all that. So anyway, thanks for watching.